The whole video is black and white. I love black and white videos.
In today's video, we're going to be finally talking about Aaliyah's The One I Gave My Heart To and what I personally think it's about. So without further more to say, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your bell post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I drop a video. Let's get right into this video. So it sounds like she's talking about someone in particular. Personally, I'm just gonna give it to you guys straight. I think that this song is about R. Kelly. Now, a lot of people are gonna think I'm crazy, but just hear me out and let me explain, because I have some revealing evidence at the end. So I'll get into that though at the end of the video. Now, personally, I think she's talking about the situation that they had going on. I'm pretty sure it was lies after lies. He made her think that he was in love with her and that they would be together forever. And she was 13, 14, 15. And he was 25, 26, 27 or something like that. Don't quote me. This just sounds like that situation. Aaliyah went through so much with R. Kelly. For people like us, we know that because we have all the evidence and the proof online, from the pictures, the certificate, the interviews, and the reports about it. And that's more than enough to clarify that they were married at some point. R. Kelly did do her wrong. I don't even know why he led her on to believe that he was in love with her, and that goes for any girl he ever messed with. Marriage is a big deal in my eyes. It probably was in hers. She probably thought she was in love with this dude and they were gonna spend eternity together. She would be able to say, well, I met him and I was 15 and we got married and we're still together, and he was this grown man. But no, it didn't work out like that. She probably had this image in her head that this was real, that it would last. But it didn't, and it threw her world away, as she said in the song. It was just devastating for her because she gave him the time and the day. She gave him all her love, from the sex to the marriage. She supposedly was sneaking out of the house for R. Kelly. He gave her a secret phone. And I mean, it was just so much he was having her do behind her parents' back. I don't know how true that is. I still do think that her parents knew, if not one of them. She just gave this man so much, and she gave him her virginity. He got all this stuff from her and she was vulnerable. She gave it to him with no hassle. She thought that she would just be this young teen in love, and he was telling her true information, which in all reality it was fake, and it broke her heart. And she looked at him cold, and I'm pretty sure that was why it was hard to talk about him to begin with. They would still ask her questions in 2000, 2001, and she looked very uncomfortable answering the questions. I can understand why. He embarrassed her. He tried to take her world away. Like, why would you do that? Forever is marriage to me. That sounds like something that involves marriage. Marriage is forever, and she probably thought she would have that forever with R. Kelly, but it didn't happen. Now, she shared her dream. What was her dream? Singing. She always made it a point to say that singing, music was #1 for her. What did R. Kelly do? What was his dreams? Singing, getting his emotions or his fantasies, if you will, out on his music. Aaliyah was the same way. She wanted to get her stories out on her music. Personal stories, I believe. They shared dreams together. They did back and forth together. She was on his music, some of his music. He was in some of her music videos, and you know, they were sharing each other's dreams. They were doing interviews together. After it was found out that they got married, or it was rumors that they got married, a lot of people started to look at the situation, and then they started to point fingers at 15-year-old Aaliyah, like she orchestrated this, and like she lied about her ID and her age. She did not do that. It was the adults around her. This almost cost her her dream, which was singing. She basically did get blackballed for a second, but apparently it was in God's hands. He took care of her and her situation and got her back to her dreams, because she deserved to get back to her dream. She was only 15. She was a teenager, let's just say that. So that's what I'm getting from this. How could you take my dream away? We share dreams, which is music. How could the love that brought such pleasure? If you haven't seen my videos about the situations that was going on between those two, go watch them. It was some in-depth information online of what they had going on between each other. I believe it. I don't care what anyone says. I believe it. And this just screams that. You know, I feel like Aaliyah really enjoyed herself with R. Kelly, from the sexual encounters to the marriage to working with him and all this stuff, and from her parents allowing her to do so. I think that Aaliyah really found pleasure in working with R. Kelly, being with R. Kelly, and you can hear it in her music. They're basically going back and forth. In his music, it sounds like he's talking about Aaliyah. In her music, it sounds like she's talking about him. Just listen to Your Body's Calling. I mean, it really sounds like a lot of pleasure and satisfying each other's needs in their music. That's what I'm getting from this. But it brought misery at the end, and she just went through it. He was just a manipulator. He did this to multiple women. Aaliyah was not the only one. He did this to a lot of other teens. It was hard for her to even get people to work with her. No one wanted to work with her anymore after that. They did not want that story to their names. So it was hard for her, and he just left her. He didn't even try to come back and vouch for her and try to clear things up and say, well, it was my wrongdoing. I mean, he couldn't have. He would have got arrested, but he didn't help in any way, not that I've seen. He just let her get bashed, which was sad. She couldn't understand because she was just young. Everything that he was feeding her probably just seemed so real. He was actually giving her her dreams while loving on this little girl who thought that she was in love with this man who really wasn't in love with her. It was just to use her for his pleasures. She just didn't understand what went wrong, what happened, why it turned all of a sudden, why he turned on her, left her to fend for herself with these bullies of the media. She was young. She could not understand. How could the one I gave my world to throw my world away? He threw her world away by just leaving. And the worst part about the relationship is that he didn't think twice about trying to hide it. They basically showed us in plain sight. They were matching in these photos and in these videos. It's just creepy. She was with him early in the morning. I'm pretty sure she was with him overnight, all the way in Chicago by herself, because that's what he wanted. No parents allowed. She was supposedly sneaking out of the house, going all the way to Chicago for this man. So she was really doing everything for this man, basically just giving him the world at this point. Her whole life robbed her. It's kind of like Dora and Swiper the fox. He's the fox and she's Dora, and he just robs her for no reason. He almost gets away with it. I mean, he gets away with it for what, 20 plus years? He finally gets what he deserves. He just threw her world away by doing this. And yeah, like I said, they had pictures together of them matching. That is not friendly at all to me. That screams in a relationship. I'm pretty sure they did exchange I love yous with each other. They were married, why wouldn't they? It was said that she was going to barbecues with this man. They just had a life together. She was even supposedly pregnant. So it was a lot going on with her in this relationship. Okay, that was it for the lyrics. What the song is about is
Aaliyah sings a tale of a failed, trust-fall relationship in this love ballad off of her sophomore album, 1 in a Million. The track centers around Aaliyah's questioning a former lover that left her after promising to love her.
This just sounds like R. Kelly. Personally, it just sounds like that to me, and it's funny how it's on her album, the second one, when she comes back after AJ Number to Number. She probably wanted to incorporate some of her feelings from her first relationship into this album, which she did that. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, she didn't even write the song, how would she know? Aaliyah did choose her songs. Let's get into the music video. So the first picture, this is the first picture. So when you turn to Aaliyah's The One I Gave My Heart To, it comes on with her walking into this house, which resembles her childhood house. And that's what made me think that this song was about R. Kelly, because it was alleged that he would come spend nights at the Houghton household in Detroit. He would stay the night, and it was just a whole lot of chaos going on between Aaliyah and her mother with him. So that's why I say that this song is about R. Kelly. So she's just pictured walking into this house that is all wooded, just like her old house, and it looks like a very old house. Doesn't it just look like her childhood home? You can't sit here and tell me that it doesn't. It really does. And then the next picture is of her fully entering the home. She is now in the home, and she is looking around like she's just back to reminisce on what went on in her first relationship with R. Kelly. So she's just walking around this house that resembles her old house, her childhood house, and she's just walking around for memories. But anyways, the next picture, she just goes upstairs and she sets her jacket down on the railing of the staircase. She's walking deeper into the house, different parts of the house, and I'm pretty sure in her actual house it had different parts where there were different memories, different events. I don't know if I could say memories. Maybe they were memories for her. This definitely looks like a scenery of her going to visit her old home and trying to understand what went wrong, what happened, where she got the most pleasure from out of this relationship, where her dreams started with her significant other, the dreams that they shared, her dream almost being snatched from her, her world taken from her. Like, she went back to try to understand and piece together what went wrong and why he said he loved her, but it took a turn for the worse. The next picture, it looks like she opens a door, maybe her old room. There is a picture of her in her room, and she's looking around the house and she opens this door, I believe, or she's looking somewhere, maybe her room. The next picture, she sits down next to this mirror and she's kind of just looking at the scenery of the house, the open door. Emptiness is given, very much emptiness. Now, another reason why she could have been looking in this mirror too is because
Mirrors are used for moments of reflection, obviously, but they are both the physical and emotional kind. But they are also used for moments of deceit, deception, dejection, this word, contrast, comparison, distortion, delusion, breaking down, and breaking through.
Now, Aaliyah was definitely breaking down in this song. Aaliyah definitely put meaningful stuff in her music videos, and if you ever want to know what something means, all you gotta do is look up mirror scene meaning, and they'll bring up something that can give you a little bit of an example of why celebrities put certain things in their music videos. Now, I cannot describe all the scenes in this video, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to do my best to figure it out. If I don't know, I'll just tell you that. But like I said, she has this big body mirror laying on the ground in this house. She goes and sits next to it. There's like clips of the house in the mirror. The door is open, it just looks empty. The house is empty, like it's just no longer in use by anyone. She's also looking at herself. It really makes sense, and I can't believe that I'm just now finding out that this song could be about Aaliyah's relationship with R. Kelly, and that she's literally walking in a house that looks like her childhood house. It's made of wood. Now, you cannot see the outside of it or anything, but it definitely looks like the house. The next picture, it just zooms in on her headshot, and she's just staring at the camera, and she gets ready to close her eyes, and it just goes into her sitting outside. Now, this is the clip that I cannot seem to figure out. If you think you know what this is or what it means, let me know. Definitely let me know. It then goes into her being outside, where she's sitting on this bench. This background is like a wall of grass, if you will. I don't know how to explain, but it just looks like this, and she's sitting on this bench singing, and it's a circle behind her, like an open circle. Now, I'm not sure what this signifies, what this means. I tried to put two and two together. Maybe some part of her house looked like this. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I just cannot figure out what this means. Why the green scenery behind her with the giant hole in it? What is it? Do you guys know? Do you think you have a clue as to what that might mean? If so, Definitely let me know, because I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna move past that since I don't know what that signifies. And then there's just another scene of her in the house. I don't know if this comes before or after, probably before. But she's in the house and she's just leaning on like this wall and she's just crying out for answers. We're just gonna move on to the rain scene. Now, I did look up what dancing in the rain means. When I looked up dancing in the rain meaning, it just brought up,
to dance in the rain is a metaphor. It means that a person has not learned to allow circumstances deter them reaching their full potential.
Also went to the app and it just says,
to dance in the rain is a metaphor. It means that a person has not learned to allow circumstances deter them reaching their full potential. They don't wait for bad things in their life to go away. Instead, they have a positive attitude and take challenges head on and enjoy the journey.
It's funny because she has a song called Journey to the Past. Anyways, that is what dancing in the rain means. And like I said, definitely Aaliyah did not put things in her video that did not make sense. It just wasn't music in my eyes. I think it meant more. She was very smart. That's what people mean by her being very smart and clever with her music. She used things that signify real things. Like her wearing white was a symbol of purity, a bunch of other stuff. That's a different video, but it definitely means something. And I'm just like, why is she dancing in the rain? What's the point of people dancing in the rain? It does have meaning, you guys. Just like I said, her looking in the mirror has meaning. It's a reflection of what went on, and look in the mirror is a reflection, you know, a reflection on the past, and it could mean deeper things. You just have to look into it. And me, you know, I'm gonna find me something to get into, which is this video. Yes, that's what dancing in the rain is, and she was doing just that. She then fell to her knees. She did a lot of things most people haven't even did in their 20s, so she was definitely crying out for answers, and she was definitely let down. He let her down and almost got her career snatched away from her in a heartbeat. And then she just gets up and she walks away, and that is the video. I found it interesting that she was walking in a house that looked like her house, and I noticed it and I'm just like, she's walking in a house that looks like her old house, and her old house was like wooded everywhere. It's just crazy. Like, I definitely think that she did still make songs about R. Kelly. It was even said that Aaliyah was still seeing R. Kelly during 1 in a Million. I don't know how true that is, don't quote me. I highly doubt it, but it's possible. But I definitely think that 1 in a Million could be about R. Kelly. I feel like she's seen her relationship with him as 1 in a Million. He is the only one that ever got her pregnant, the only one who has ever married her, the one who took her virginity away from her. I'm pretty sure it was R. Kelly. It was just a lot. She gave him a lot. Yeah, that is that, you guys. I just wanted to explain that. Hopefully this video is not all over the place, but I did my best. I had to get this off my chest before someone else posts this, and then I'm just like, dang, I could have been first, you know? Because I don't think anyone ever talked about this. No one is on to what I'm on to. I like to talk about all parts of Aaliyah's life, and I don't care if anyone dislikes it, because I'm still gonna do it at the end of the day. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Stay crazy.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. Now we're drowning in our lives. I know we're broken